Are you seeing this? This is what I get from our training department people. Two tables. One is an employee table that tells me all the people that started in our organization. And the second one is all the trainings that they have done. And the question that I constantly get asked from the managers and everyone is, are we doing our mandatory trainings? How is the compliance rates? So today, let me talk about the Excel formulas that I personally use, Excel approaches really, to answer these kind of business questions. Essentially, I get three kinds of questions. The one is how many employees have completed all of their mandatory trainings? Again, it all changes from season to season, but right now we have three mandatory trainings that everybody is supposed to do. So the question that my managers ask me is, how many employees, all the new starters since, let's say, 1st of Jan 2026, have completed all of these three mandatory trainings? And the second question they also ask is, how many have completed at least one mandatory training? Right? Not all three, just one. And the third question that they also ask is, which employees have not even attempted any of the mandatory trainings? Give me their names so we can go ahead and chase them up. In this video, basically, I'm going to walk through the approaches that I use. Oh, by the way, if you would like to have a go at these things, there is a spreadsheet for this in the video description. Grab it, download it, and give these questions a try, try to solve them. And then let me know how you solve these problems using the comment section. But now I'm going to show you my approaches. So here is my data. The blue table is all our employees that started since 1 Jan 2026. And the green table is all the trainings done across the board since 1 Jan 2026. Now the key questions that I get are these three questions. There is also a bonus question. Like I said, I have provided this worksheet for download. So if you're feeling a bit adventurous, give it a go. I have included the answers, but not the approach. So this is a great way to test your Excel skills as well. Now, whenever I have data like this, usually the challenge is data comes in two chunks. One piece of puzzle is this table. The other piece of puzzle is this table. And there is something that connects them. In this case, the connection is my employee ID. I have got ID here as well as here. So if I can somehow marry these two, then my job is done. I can get everything in one place and then do it. I do this differently depending on how my data is and what the need of the hour is. In a case like this, because I want to know how many mandatory trainings have each employee done, I would like to add a helper column. This makes my job simple, not only because I can answer the individual questions. Like, for example, if they ask me, oh, what about this Dwight D. Eisenhower? How many mandatory trainings this person has done? I can give that answer because the helper column would tell me. So let's count how many mandatory trainings they have done. I'm going to just call this as mand and add this column. Mind you, these data is already in table format. This table is named staff and this table is named trainings. So in this staff table, all I want to ask is that for that employee ID, how many records are here for the mandatory trainings? Now, in our scenario, there are a bunch of different trainings that we do. So if I filter these course IDs, you can see that, there's all these trainings, but not all are mandatory. In our case, only 3 are mandatory, and I have included the names of those mandatory trainings up here. So CC101, CM101, and EAT101. So essentially what I want to ask is, for a given employee ID, how many of these 3 they have done? And done in this case means they have passed the final assessment. If they failed, that's not considered done. They still have to do the mandatory training. For this sort of a thing, we can use the COUNTIFS function. COUNTIFS criteria range is employee ID in my trainings table should match @employee ID of this table, and pass fail should be pass, and course ID, it needs to be one of these 3. Now I'm gonna just hard code to CC101 for now, and that's gonna basically tell which employees have passed that mandatory training. For example, here I can see Phil Clinton has passed. Their ID is 2355. Let's filter this table here. And CC101, they did pass. But Large Bush and Barack Obama, they both have not passed. Let's check this one as well.
2351, I'm gonna filter once again, and CC101, Barack Obama has failed. So the formula does work, but it only checks for CC101. But we do have 3 trainings, CM101 and EAT101 as well. One approach is we can pass this array. This is not gonna work. I'm gonna lock this reference first and then test it out. This is not gonna work. It's gonna create a spill error for each of my formulas, because what this COUNTIF does is, I'm gonna copy this and paste it somewhere and point to that employee ID there. And you can see it says 011. That's because Barack Obama, out of 3, they have failed the first one, the other 2 they've passed. So it's going to give me the individual COUNTIFs 011. So what we want is, once this COUNTIFs has done its job, we want to send this to the sum function. So it basically totals how many of those 3 they have done. So Barack Obama has done 2 mandatory, George Bush has done 1, Phil Clinton has done 3. Again, you can verify these against the data, but for me that all looks good. So now that I have got these mandatory information here, I can go ahead and answer questions 1 and 2. 1 is how many have completed all 3, and 2 is how many employees have completed at least 1. So here the correct answer should be 26. I can just say COUNTIFs in my data, so staff table, mandatory column, how many have 3 in them. So we'll get the 26 here. 48 people have done at least 1 mandatory training. So this is also a COUNTIFs, staff mandatory, and this is basically greater than 0, and we will get 48. The good thing with having a column like mand here is it helps us quickly get these totals, as well as if I ever want to know how many people have done 2 mandatory trainings or all 3, the list of names, I can apply a filter on this and I can quickly get that. So this is why I love the helper columns. They show the data here, and there is no cost involved in having these helper columns. Some people don't like them. Personally, I enjoy helper columns. But if I'm sharing this with an end user, I usually go ahead and hide this column so that they can't just get to the formula and muck around and delete something. Just as we have mandatory, let's go ahead and add one more column to calculate the attempts, which will help us get to this question, which is how many employees have not attempted any of the mandatory trainings and who are they? So not only I want to know the number, but their names as well. So in this case, an attempt is somebody who has started the training irrespective of their pass or fail. So I want to know which employees have not started any of the courses at all. So in this case, just as we have manned, I'm going to add one more column for attempts. And this is basically just counting how many of the mandatory courses each employee has attempted. So this means we're not interested in the pass fail. We just want to see the course ID against employees. So again, we do the COUNTIFs of employee ID in the trainings @ this employee and course ID, one of these 3. We're going to lock that. And remember, if I just do that, I'm going to get a spill error. So I'm going to pass this COUNTIFs to a sum function that just counts all those individual and then adds them up, and we will get to the total attempts. Now here I can see Harry S. Truman has 0 attempts. That means this person has not even attempted any of the courses. So for example, if I take this employee ID E2372 and look for that employee ID in the column here, I won't even find that employee because they've not started any of these courses. Maybe we need to find that person and ask them what they're doing. So now that the attempts are here, I can go ahead and find out that number of people who have made 0 attempts. So here I'm gonna just say COUNTIFs staff attempts is 0. So we'll get the 9. I want to see their names. This is really simple. We're gonna say filter staff emp name where staff attempts is equal to 0. Now, if I just hit the enter, this is going to spill and print 9 names like this. As there is some other stuff down there, it's going to give me a spill error, but I'm going to take this filter and then send this to text join with a delimiter of comma space. This is going to take all those names and nicely give me a comma separated list like this. While we are here, I'm going to sort the filtered list. So sort the filter and then do your thing, and we will get all of these names. So Aishwarya Rao, Asin Bhosle, Celine Dion, Harry S. Truman, etc. If you're wondering what these names are, these are all just puns on Excel formulas and functions. Anyhow, these are the names of the 9 people, and I can go ahead and chase them up and ask them, what are you doing? Why are you not doing your mandatory trainings and whatnot? This is the same approach that I use many times when the data is actually split across 2 different tables and I need to join them up and do that. I like adding these kind of helper columns because not only it makes the calculation simple, but also it is easy for me to double check as well as answer any other future questions. If you are somebody who likes a bit of challenge, you can do this without the helper columns or use some other approaches in Excel, but for me, I like this. Now let's go ahead and do the bonus question. This is a special question that sometimes I get asked, especially with this kind of data. So if I have, this is a question, list training completion rates by department. So if you see here, I have got the department, and the managers may want to know for each department, how many new starters they had, how many of them have done all the mandatory trainings, and what is the percentage. So some table like this. Now, if I have a question like this, usually this also means I'm going to go with the pivot table. But today I'm going to show you my formula-based approach because this is a great way to also see some of the power and beauty of Excel formulas. So now that this data is there, I'm going to go here and set up my output grid. This is the output that we are after. I'll just copy these headers. First of all, I want to list all my departments. So this is where I can say unique staff department, and we'll get all the departments. While there, it's a good idea to sort this list. So I'm gonna sort the unique list in alphabetical order. So for each department, I want to know how many new starters they have. This is really simple. COUNTIFS staff department is this spill range. This is going to individually count all the new starters in each department and automatically spill them for me. Nice and beautiful. Done all the mands is again simple because we have the mand column. So I can just say COUNTIFS staff department is this spill range. Staff mand is 3. And we will get in each department how many of the new starters have completed their mandatory trainings. Now that both spill ranges are there, I can calculate the percentage. This spill range, divide that with that spill range, and we'll get the percentage in fraction. I can just apply some percentage formatting, apply some nice borders on it, and if I want to go a little bit fancy, I can even apply a data bar on it. And just gonna tidy this up a bit. I'm gonna set the maximum to a number of 1 and minimum to a number of 0. Apply that. So we can see each department, what is the completion rate. And for example, here, marketing and purchasing departments are lagging, while HR is leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. So this is how you can kind of answer these questions. Here we are using a bunch of formulas, but everything is nicely linked to this spill range. So should there be another department or something, everything automatically adjusts. How would you do these kind of things? Let me know in the comments. Many times this kind of data is actually quite long and there's tons of rows. In such cases, writing formulas is a bit tedious and also slow. In such scenarios, I always use Power Pivot in Excel and write some DAX measures to answer these kind of questions. If you want to learn how to use Power Pivot in Excel and what DAX is and how it all works out, check out this video. I'll catch you there. Bye.